3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Tuesday episode of We Talk. I'm Yolanda Nile and I will be your host for today. Well, today we are headed over to See Well Media and check out what the digital market in Namibia looks like today. But first up, we have some news highlights. And now heading over to our website for some news highlights. The European Union has been funding the Naya Development Foundation of Namibia to provide support for the conservancies with the aim to improve their governance and inclusiveness. This 3-year project started in February 2020 and runs until January next year. This was at the time that the COVID-19 pandemic struck and impacted this project in various ways, amongst others delaying and complicating both the planning and implementation of activities in the conservancies. For large parts of 2021, there were travel restrictions in place, and even outside those periods, the organization shifted focus to the provision of distance support. This was done to minimize exposure and protect the relatively isolated communities from potential COVID-19 infections. In addition, there were personnel changes in the conservancies as well as major shifts in the management committees of both conservancies. This meant that much of the training of committees and office bearers had to be started from scratch. Despite the challenges, the fund provided essential support and activities which resulted in important achievements in both conservancies. They successfully held their AGMs towards the end of last year with all necessary compliant documents and systems in place. These include an annual budget, financial report, work plan, conservancy report, election report, benefit distribution plan and report, and a game management utilization report. The NNDFN also assisted the conservancies in successfully assessing and implementing COVID emergency grants provided by the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism. This has helped them to continue essential activities despite a loss of income. Namibia se fietsseisoen het Sondag begin met die Netbank Windhoek Pedal Power reeks by Dobra, terwyl die Namibiese nasionale ITT en padfietsry kampioenskappe gedurende die eerste week van Februarie gehou sal word. Die Fietsryer Federasie se nasionale afrigter Hans de Tooy sê die Namibiese Fietsry Federasie NCF sal komende wedrenne gebruik om ryers te kies wat Namibia by die Statebondspele in Engeland gaan verteenwoordig. Dit het by die bekendstelling van die Tour de Windhoek gesê, 2022 is 'n opwindende jaar vir die federasie, aangesien hulle besig is om vir die Statebondspele te beplan. Met geleenthede soos die Tour de Windhoek, sal hulle 'n span kan kies wat by die Statebondspele sal verteenwoordig. Dit het bygevoeg dat dit vir 'n klein land soos Namibia 'n groot prestasie was om 4 fietsryers by die Olimpiese Spele te hê. 4 fietsryers in 2 verskillende byeenkomste by die Olimpiese Spele was 'n groot eer vir die sport van fietsry. As sport mik ons altyd vir verbetering, maar ongelukkig is padfietsry baie moeilik in Suid-Afrika, aangesien ons ver weg is van Europa waar die hoofrenne plaasvind, maar ons verbeter aanhoudend. Dit het gesê dat Namibia meer ryers moet hê wat meeding of vir Europese spanne ry. Een van die grootste byeenkomste in die land is die Tour de Windhoek, wat ons fietsryers baie goeie blootstelling gee. En dan laastens nog sportnuus. Deelnemers se vermoë en die atmosfeer by die Onafhanklikheidsstadion was Saterdag die kersie op die koek vir 'n aksiebelaaide atletiek Namibia Grand Prix, sê president Erwin Namwaka. Daar was tonele van opwinding en vreugde terwyl Namibia se Olimpiese silwermedaljewenner Christina Mboma vir die eerste keer sedert haar sege in Tokio en die Wanda Diamantliga in die Onafhanklikheidsstadion te sien was. Sy het haar terugkeer na die stadion gevier met 'n uitstekende loopie wat vir haar die eerste plek in die 200 meter verower het in 22.3 sekondes. Op haar hakke was Nandi vas van UNAM Atletiek Klub in 'n tyd van 24.82 sekondes, terwyl Johanna Lutgerus van Korrektiewe Dienste derde geëindig het in 25.27 sekondes. Dit was werklik aangenaam om die stadion in so 'n lewendige luim te aanskou. Die ondersteuners het hulle rolle gespeel en ek is ook tevrede met die vermoë wat die atlete vandag getoon het. Die geleentheid was 'n sukses vanweë diegene wat deel was van die organisasie en sy wil elkeen van hulle bedank. Welcome back, viewers. Today I'm joined with Oliver from Seawell Media. Thank you so much for joining me for today's interview.
Hi, Yolanda. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and yeah, lovely to chat to you.
Quickly tell us, what is Seawell Media all about?
Well, Seawell Media is a digital agency, and digital meaning we do all the digital stuff that companies might need or services they might need. I think we're going to chat a little bit about those just now, but yeah, we're a digital agency. It is often a word that people don't really understand, but yeah, there's a lot of education still needed to be done with digital, especially in Namibia as well. And if people understand what it is about, it's actually much better than they know what they must do and who can do it for them.
But the digital market is expanding.
It is. Digital is expanding. You need to hop onto the bus. I always tell my clients, I'm quite frank with this stuff. I said, that bus, don't come around again. You hop on it now and you stay on it. You don't have to do everything at once, but let's start it off and let's get there slowly but surely. That's the main thing.
Who needs to make use of your services?
Well, any type of business can make use of the services. So if we're looking at digital, which means your social media, either than that, and websites, and your Google My Business, etc., etc. So there's so many things out there. I don't want to throw around too many terms, but let's take social media. Any company can make use of social media to expose their brand, but you have to do it properly. And if you can't do it yourself, that's where we as an agency come in, that we actually fall in and you pay us to do it and run it for you in conjunction with you. We're never taking you out of the picture. Yes. We still need you to create content as well, or give us content, but and to form that marketing strategy. But any business can actually take it. Might that be tourism, which is one of the main ones naturally, but any type of business, if you're a car hire, if you are a car workshop, if you're a retailer, anything and everything, because people flock around social media whenever they have time, and you just need to put your brand and what you do in front of their eyes, and that's it, and the rest will come by itself then. But you have to do it properly.
Why was it so important to have this Namibian company, especially for Namibians?
So it is important to have this, to be able to do this in Namibia, I think, that we don't have to take services from outside of Namibia. In the old days, you had to even get your website built in South Africa or Germany. There was no qualifications of people in Namibia. There was a few maybe, and it still worked in a different way. These days, it's much easier actually.
Yes.
For me, it's easy to say that, but it is actually not that complicated anymore. But we have very, very capable people in Namibia that can do anything digital. Digital also meaning video, virtual reality, all that stuff. And there's a lot of people that do awesome work here that I also refer to. If something that I don't do, I refer to people. Obviously, we know each other a little bit. And I think the digital community can still get together a little bit and actually stand together and put all this information out, that the businesses really understand how important this is and who are the right people to do what for your business. Not everything is always also for you. It depends. You have to find out what do you need for your company and what is important now.
But other than that, Namibians know how Namibians operate. South Africans don't know how Namibians operate. I've seen it countless of times. So it's so much better to have your Namibian brand looked after for by a Namibian company.
Exactly. The thing is, in Namibia, people still want to talk to you. They want to be in your office, or you come to them, or whatever, or you drive to their lodge, or whatever. You make an effort. So people want to talk to you. You're not selling anything via an email or a phone call in Namibia. You're making a first contact. And I've experienced this. You have to see people, but I also make a point of seeing the customers actually, because then there's just that connection that you make, a bit of trust that is built, confidence, and all that stuff comes with that. Because just digital, again, there's that word, people then are a little bit shy about it still. So Namibians want to see you. In South Africa, you can't do that. And I always say to people, you're not going to hop on the airplane and fly to Cape Town or Joburg or whatever and go see your website developer there. So in Namibia, you can do that. I'll climb in my car and I'll drive to you. But on the other side, so I think that's very important. And we can do that. There is people here that can do that. Go see the people, talk to the people, sort it out. Make those contacts. I think that human touch there still is very important, and Namibians really like that. So I've experienced it in the last 7 years.
If we go back to creating a social media presence for businesses, this can be for small companies and larger companies, and it shouldn't be that costly to operate it.
Yes, so there's a thing actually that you've put out there, small and big companies. So a lot of companies like mine, there's bigger ones than me. I'm a small fish in the pond, but there's bigger companies that they just gun for the big companies and obviously make a bigger buck out of that. But often the smaller companies, the small, medium enterprises, and the really small companies are forgotten, which are I think, the backbone of our economy. Yes. And no one caters for them. So I make it a point as well to cater for smaller companies. Yes, I have a few clients that are a little bit bigger and bigger companies, but in the end of the day, the small companies are always forgotten, and I think there's a big market for that. And they need that help because they cannot afford to employ a social media manager or someone that does their video. So they need help from agencies like myself or Seawell Media to help them with that stuff. And how do we say always, I'm not going to get the right wording now, but all that small stuff is also going to make you an income.
Exactly.
And it might be a little bit more work than having 1 or 2 or 3 big clients. You can make a nice mix of it, but don't forget about the small guys, and they really need that help. So exactly. I think there's a really big market in that, and it's still out there, and they often forget it. So
some of the other products you mentioned earlier was that you create 360-degree
virtual tours, yes.
Yes, that's
walkthroughs or whatever. There's lots of words for it.
Who would make use of a service like that?
Okay, the main common perception is always that, again, it's only for tourism and hotels and lodges. It is actually not. Yes, that is one of the main reasons that you would do it, for people to walk through. And I usually use the walkthrough that people kind of understand how that works. Let me give you a quick explanation. Maybe you have a 360 image, which is one single image which you can move around 360 degrees. And then we put these 360-degree images next to each other to create a walkthrough, which we then upload either to a website or to social media or whatever. And any type of business, again, can use this marketing tool because you show off what you have in how it really looks, 360-degree. A photo is a nice thing. It's nice, but you only see one view. So you have to look at a lot of photos to get it. And by the time you've looked at the first one again, you've forgotten the rest. 360, you can see it all the time. Look at it 24/7. You can send it to people all over the world. It's just a link. It's hosted on a server. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. It's a versatile marketing tool, and it's not really that expensive anymore. And any business can use it. I've done it for car hires, airplanes, attractions, scenic points, inside, outside, hotels. I'm actually doing a tile shop in Swakop in February because they're revamping their storeroom, so they want to add a virtual tour for their clients to see how their storeroom looks. You can put video links, we can put fact sheets, we can put information links, you can put so much stuff into the tour which people can then click and then obviously go on to. So you're adding much more content. It's not just a virtual tour anymore. Logos with links to websites. So you're completely branding it according to the business and then putting it on all these platforms. We even have a request form on our virtual tour. So there's an email address linked behind it, so the client can fill in something there. You're making it easy for someone to reach you as a business. I don't want to search for your details. If I like what I'm seeing, let me get to you, make contact with you, and find out more or buy. That's essentially what you want to do.
Exactly. Instant
gratification is a big thing. People just instantly want to see stuff.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
And I will will see you again in 2 weeks when you have 2 actors from South Africa joining us.
Yes, that's something I do as well.
Yeah.
I can and do organize events as well. It's in essence, it's organizing and marketing. And yeah, we have Christelle and David coming, and we will see each other. We will see them, I believe, with us here.
Yes.
And yeah, we're looking forward to it. And yeah, we hope that Namibia enjoys the show, and we're getting some good feedback. And we hope that in future we'll bring more of this to Namibia, because that's also the feedback we've gotten already from people that bought tickets and stuff. Said, let's have more of this. We are in dire need of stuff like that. Theater shows, stand-up comedy, music, all that stuff. People want to get out there, and life is slowly but surely getting back to a type of normality. But we have to also make it normal. I think
Exactly.
it's our choice how we do it.
Yeah.
Yes, we have rules. We try to stick to them. That's okay. But in the end of the day, let's be positive and work together. And yeah, and it promotes Namibia, and we promote our country. We're all salespeople. I always say that. That's the marketer speaking now. We're selling our country, and we're proud to be Namibians. We're proud to stay in the town that we stay. And I think that's important as well. You got to be proud, not just of your business, but your country, your town, people around you, and just put that vibe out there. Be friendly. Be open. Enjoy life. It's too short to not enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. For today's life hack, if you want to keep your cookies soft and fresher for longer, place a piece of white bread inside an airtight container with your cookies. That will keep it soft and fresher for longer. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute, and that's needed after all those soft cookies you just ate.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Flex. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex, and today we are still focusing on our abs because abs are important. I'm not saying you need a six-pack. I mean, you can all go get a six-pack in the store, but for this one we're going to work for it. So we're going to lift up our legs. Oh my gosh, this one is just the worst. So slow and controlled, and lift those legs up. And if you want to be a crazy person, you can hold it there for a few seconds, and if you feel you can't do it anymore, bring it up again and continue the whole thing. So your legs are actually the best weights that you can have around. You're carrying them around all day long, so why not use them for your exercises? And for the other one, we'll be doing a hollow hold. Okay, so hollow hold, lift up and hold. So you're like hollowing out that back. Keep that abs tight. You want it tight. And point your toes, or don't point your toes, point your fingers to your toes and hold that. And if you do this a few times a day, every day, it will only be good for yourself. But always remember to keep that abs tight when you walk around, when you're doing your day-to-day activities. Always try and keep that abs tight because it will also help with your posture. I will see you all next time.
Well, that brings us to the end of our show for today. Please join us again tomorrow as we are headed over to the vintage coffee shop that is now situated in Pioneers Park and changed its name to Kostelijk. See you then.